He had a massive brake rotor failure. His rotor exploded, the caliper broke off, parts everywhere. So we got another bolt, a couple Zeus buttons, a bleeder, so that's probably his too. More brake rotor, another clip. Not only did I get this, there was one more that was a little surprising. Tiny piece of lead. Welcome back everyone to the David Root Racing channel here at Stafford Speedway. We just completed our opening Friday night just the other day, our first Friday night of many here at the Speedway. And now it is time to clean up the facility and get it ready for our second Friday night race of 2026 this coming Friday. There's a lot of work that we have to do after each and every event, from cleaning up all the trash underneath the grandstands, pulling garbage bags, cleaning off the racing surface, mowing all of the grass. There is a lot of work behind the scenes to get the property flipped, cleaned up, and ready for another racing event. I just finished dragging tires for about 20 minutes or so to get all this rubber loosened up, so when I come out here with the blower, it could get it all off the racing surface and start with a clean racetrack. So this is how much rubber is built up after one complete event. We had a very fast Friday night. It was a cold night. We started our heat races at 6:15 and the last race ended right around 9:30. So a very fast night, quick paced night of racing. Very minimal damage, barely any speedy drive was used, which was crazy compared to opening weekend. But we still have a lot of cleanup to do. Quite a bit of rubber buildup, a lot of marbles, which is good to see because it is actually rubber. Oh, we got a bolt. This is why we clean up the track, because there's always nuts and bolts everywhere on the surface. After 5 divisions of racing, people bouncing off of each other, things end up falling off of cars. There was a couple blown rotors. One thing that I'm really happy with is how the outside groove is currently this early in the year. You could really see it is a little bit darker than the bottom. The bottom is completely just cleaned right off, because this is the dominant racing groove. Not that it's rubbered up, it's just cleaned off in the faster way around. But the top side, if you can hear it, it's starting to rubber up, it's getting sticky, which is a good thing. I actually passed quite a few people on the outside. I think I got past 3 or 4 cars on the outside. 2x2 all the way. Three top. 2. Hold on to 41 if you want it. Plenty of room if you need it. Go there, clear. Watching the SK lights and other racing, they were able to use the outside. The late models, the outside will never really be used, but it looks like you could survive on restarts, which was good. So the tire dragon is doing its job, rubbering up the outside groove, making it somewhat raceable this early in the race season. So first off, let's go ahead, get the racing surface cleaned off, go grab the leaf blower, go grab the Buffalo turbine, get this all cleaned off. Then we'll go ahead and probably mow the grass, because guys, I think I put too much fertilizer down. I mowed this Friday, so was that 3-4 days ago? And it is already long. I got a lot of dandelions, which I'm not too happy with. I think I got to change what direction I'm mowing, because you could really see the tire marks. So I might have to go angled so it kind of grows in differently. But the grass is coming in pretty good. Probably will end up putting more fertilizer down in a couple weeks, a different kind, to try to help it green up and survive the harsh summer that we have. But enough talking, let's get to work. We got a lot of work to do. Let's head down to the garage, get the leaf blower, and start cleaning off the racing surface. blowing off the walls. Already got the quad and the big Buffalo blower out here, started over here in turns 1, 2. But I wanted to show you guys why I backpack blow against the wall and why I walk around the track. That's because I tend to pick up a lot of parts and pieces. So let me show you, like right here, look. If I wasn't walking on the track, I wouldn't have found this brake rotor piece. I know I could use a sweeper vac truck. I would love to get one of those, but just it's not in the budget, unfortunately. So let me show you all the stuff that I picked up just when it was against the wall, me backpack blowing the wall. So here we have it. We got a piece of a brake rotor, some, I don't know, rubber. What else? It's a hose clamp. It's all in my back pocket. That's like a Nerf bar clip. Let's see here, we got a washer, broken bolt, more brake rotors. So Matt, who actually helps me with all the grass and clean up here, he also races in the street stock division. He had a massive brake rotor failure. His rotor exploded, the caliper broke off, parts everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these parts are his. So we got another bolt, a couple Zeus buttons, a bleeder, so that's probably his too. My other pocket, more brake rotor, another clip. Not only did I get this, there was one more that was a little surprising. It's a tiny piece of lead. So this was up against the wall. It is painted white on one side, which makes me believe this was supposed to be like a cap to a 2x3 piece of lead, I guess. That's encased in steel, and maybe looks like they tried to pour just a little bit more on there and it broke off because it didn't actually melt to the other piece of lead. So a very small piece of lead, which is kind of scary. Luckily, it doesn't look like it got run over and like flung around. It just slid up the track against the wall. But like this tiny of a piece could get hit by a tire and just launch. And I mean, this piece alone is probably, I don't know, maybe a pound or so. Half a pound? Nah, it's probably a pound. I mean, that's gonna hurt when it goes flying off into there. So that was a little surprising. Take a peek. See how there's that little bit of a, like a raised part there? It looks like they must have poured a little bit more lead to cap off a piece. Make sure your lead is secured properly. And if there's pieces like this that are a cap it with a piece of steel. Don't cap it with the lead, because the chance of this breaking off is obviously very high. Not ideal. I mean, it is painted white, I'll give them that, but still, it fell off the car. That is not okay. So yeah, that is what we found just walking on the track. So now I'll go ahead with the Buffalo turbine and blow everything down off the surface. If we see anything else, I'll grab it as well. Man, it's a little chilly when we're on the quad like that and it's that windy. Just finished cleaning off the racing surface. It is a lot better. There's still some pieces that are stuck to the track. These are just ones that got pushed back into the asphalt when I was driving around. That is a clean racing surface now, ready for another Friday night. So now that we finished that, oh, I did find a couple more hose clamps and pieces of a brake rotor and another Nerf bar clip, a couple bolts as well. So we got all those pieces picked up. Now that we completed that, it's time to jump on the lawnmower and start mowing some grass, because it all took off this past week. It was a perfect amount of rain. I also put some fertilizer down, so it grew in quite a bit. I'm not going to mow the infield yet. I'm going to let that go for another day or so. I mean, I'd love to mow it multiple times a week, but I don't have the time to do that. I have to focus on getting everything else mowed as well. And with this weekend being the Broke East meet, we have to mow the entire parking lot. And that takes forever. Well, I decided to make a stockpile of all the parts that I find on track this year. And here's my first lot. I'll put it right there. We're gonna keep adding to that throughout the entire year to see how many parts I end up finding on track in 2026. A couple Nerf bar pins, bolts, rotor parts, hose clamps. That's a good first haul. But we'll add to that next week when we clean the track again. But for now, let's jump on the lawnmower and start mowing some of this grass. We'll get a couple more small projects done today, and then that will be it for Tuesday of race week. Yesterday we did have go-karts, their first opening night. It ran really fast. Everyone did great. The track was pretty racy. A lot of great racing up front in every division. Not much trash pickup after that. We just got to rearrange all the garbage cans. They just get pushed all around. And we'll pull any of the full bags and replace them for Friday night. Well, let's go ahead and jump on the lawnmower and start mowing some grass. Stop from mowing grass because I got sidetracked. A lot of you have asked me, how do we know how much Speedy Dry to have on hand for a race night? And what is Speedy Dry, or what am I referring to when I say Speedy Dry? Well, we're here on the backside of the racetrack where we have our storage shed full of Speedy Dry. It is a lot of it. And as you can see, there are two different kinds in here. There's this oil dry, and then this new one we got that is, what's it called, safety Zorb. Yeah, actually not the biggest fan of that one. We are running a little low. Usually this thing's stacked right up, but if you recall, on Spring Sizzler, there's probably bees in here. I'm looking up because I'm allergic to bees and I don't want to get stung. On Spring Sizzler weekend, we had that big oil down that probably used 30 bags of Speedy Dry, if not more, 40 maybe. These bags cost right around $12.50 per bag. Beginning of the year, we generally just order a pallet. We stock this shed to the brim as full as we can. We don't care how many are left at the end of the previous year. We just want to get another fresh pallet because we know worst comes to worst, we're gonna need it. And worst case scenario was like the oil down we had, and good thing we got that pallet because we probably went through all of that. And like I said earlier in the video, this past Friday we didn't even use one bag of Speedy Dry. I keep calling it Speedy Dry. It is called oil dry on the bag. We've always referred to it as Speedy Dry. For those of you that don't know what it is, oil dry is this, like, I don't know, it's an absorbent, right? Almost like a sand, I guess. And you work it in by dragging. Okay, we'll put it out here. You work it in by dragging pressure across it, right? So say there's this pile of Speedy Dry. Without pushing it into the oil, it's not going to pick it up unless it's like a big puddle. So what we do is usually drag tires, or you'll see the track crew kind of rub their feet across it. And as you can see, it broke that Speedy Dry pellet down into like this powder form and pushed it into the surface to then soak up the oil and any residue that's left on the racetrack. We did get a new pallet beginning of the year. It was a safety Zorb. I can't even remember what it's called. It's a little bit different of a product. I have one bag out here. This one ripped. As you can see, it's a black sand mixture, but it's very powdery, and the track crew seemed to think it wasn't absorbing as well. So we haven't been using that. It looks like we might have to order another pallet of the oil dry because I'm not too comfortable with how much is left in here. We have probably another 20 bags here and another 40 or so underneath the safety Zorb. So we probably have 60 bags of the oil dry. but we're really kind of stuck with this safety Zorb. We got to figure out how to use this. So there's no right or wrong answer for how much Speedy Dry do you have on hand, or how much do we order per week. We don't order it per week. We order it by the pallet load. Try to get as much as possible. A pallet generally costs right around $800. So we'll take those in, put it into storage, into inventory, and make sure we have plenty on hand, because the worst thing you could do is run out of Speedy Dry. I mean, this could make or break a whole night if we didn't have Speedy Dry. But yeah, that is the topic on Speedy Dry, what it is and what we use. I prefer the Oil Dry brand versus the Safety Zorb brand, but we'll do some searching. We'll see if we could find some more of that stuff. It was no longer available through Napa. That's who we get all of our Speedy Dry products from. So we'll see if we could find some more. Enough of that, let's get back to mowing some grass. Well, I know I said I wasn't gonna mow the infield, but I just couldn't let it be as long as it was. I'm thinking I might be able to mow it twice this week. Just mowed the turns 1 and 2 grass section and these 2 smaller ones for now to get a little bit of a head start on the rest of the week. The grass grew quite a bit in 3 days. I did change which direction I went. I went on an angle here, where before I was following the track curvature, the turn. Didn't mow the back yet. I have to change that angle as well, because you could really see the stripes and the tire line. So I don't want to cause the grass to grow a certain direction. So we're switching it up. That will do it for today's video. A day in the life here at the Speedway, behind the scenes, all the prep work that happens every single week. This is just week 1 of our, what, 22 race season. So we'll be doing this 22 more times. Oh, that's kind of weird to think of it that way. Yeah, we got the track clean. We got some grass mowed. We got some other work done too. Nothing that I videotaped. We got some TVs mounted up. Just some small projects here and there. That will do it for today's video. Behind the scenes here at Stafford Speedway and what we do every single week to keep this place the best it can be. This is just a small portion of what we do. We have 3 more days until our next event. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Throttle down and see you guys at the races.